Billiken fans, welcome back. It is Zach Miller and Peter Hale. It's the Midtown Madness Podcast. Before we get going, thank you all so much for listening. You know the drill. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Pete, I got to remind everyone as we start our episode that, first of all, thank you. I have to thank everyone for supporting us by supporting Two Men in a Garden Salsa because of them, Two Men in a Garden is back for the 2025-2026 season of the Midtown Madness Podcast. We truly, of course, can't thank Joel enough and his team over at Two Men in a Garden. They keep the lights on here, so to speak, with the Midtown Madness. They are the St. Louis salsa and pickle company. The salsa, they got it anywhere from mild to screaming hot mango to sugar-free. The pickles, they've got that classic dill, or you could go with smoky barbecue if you're feeling zesty. Visit them online at twomeninthegarden.com. Shop your favorite flavors and learn more, of course, about their awesome Kitchen Hub STL. Don't forget to follow them on social media at Two Men Salsa on Instagram and Twitter for the latest updates. Pete, we got a lot to talk about today. Not so heavy on men's basketball, a little bit to talk about, but there was a lot that went on this week.
There was, Zach, a lot around the athletic department, a little bit of men's basketball. I mean, don't undersell it too much. We've got a few things to go over. But yeah, you're right. Fall sports are in full swing. We've got some comings and goings, a lot of good stuff.
Pete, did you see this? Did you see this ticket offer Athletic sent out last week?
I did.
Interesting, don't you think?
It is pretty interesting. It sounded kind of familiar, didn't it?
It did. If you missed the email, or if they missed the email, Pete, break it down.
Yeah, so basically, SLU offered $5 tickets the day after the big wins over SMU and Mizzou in soccer last week. Zach, but again, it felt like an echo of something that happened.
Yeah. I believe I put this idea out on this very show. I believe this was my idea. You win a game, you win a big game, you send an email. Parents see the email while they're at work. Kids come home from school. They're still talking about that game last night, how much fun they had. Oh, hey, I saw an email for $5 tickets, discounted tickets. Hey, let's go back on Thursday. That's how that works.
Pretty good stuff, Zach. And yeah, you don't need to be a SLU marketing major, to figure it out. I think it was a good idea, a smart idea, like a why not idea. And yeah, not surprised to see it. It is kind of funny, but I guess I should say, Zach, I mean, if you're going to do the work for free, they're just never going to pay you.
No, that's true. I need to start holding back on my ideas.
Yeah, be careful about what goes on the other side of the paywall.
Yeah, we need to. Oh, I need to line up that OnlyFans. I mean Patreon.
Patreon, yes.
Patreon.
The respectable one.
Sorry, that was a bit of a Freudian slip. My apologies to the listeners. Or was it? Let's get just as weird. Honestly, what's weird is Matt Jakobsze is out as assistant athletic director for compliance and NIL. What's not weird is that he's leaving. That happens all the time. What's weird is kind of I don't know. Why don't you go ahead and read the tweet and what he's going to be doing?
Sure. So he originally tweeted. We found this out. What day was this, Zach? I guess. Well, I've got it in front of me. I guess I could say that August 26th, right? So what was that? Monday, Tuesday last week. So he tweets out, "Today is my last day at St. Louis University. I'm so proud of the work we've accomplished together, especially advancing NIL and revenue sharing opportunities for Billiken student athletes. It's been an honor to be part of such an important moment in college athletics. A huge thank you to Chris May and Janet Oberle for bringing me on, and to coaches Josh Schertz, Katie Shields, Kevin Kalish, and Rebecca Tillett, and all the other incredible coaches and staff for the chance to serve your programs. SLU is in great hands, the future is bright, and I'll always be cheering for the Billikens. #GoBills."
I mean, the future is in hands. Of all the hands that the future could be in, it's in two of them.
It is.
It's
It
in two
is.
of them.
And so for I don't know, not even 18 hours, we kind of wondered what was going on,
Yeah,
why he exited. He was the kind of guy when he was brought in, it was like, oh, number one, like, oh, good, we're serious about NIL. Here comes a guy from
yeah.
Mizzou who knows what he's doing. Number two, it was like, well, as Chris May gets closer to retirement, is this a potential heir to that seat, right? So those two thoughts were kind of on people's mind, and then the next day, Zach, we got the follow-up tweet from him.
Yeah, excited to share that I'm joining Learfield with Mizzou Sports Properties, managing their NIL team and partner strategy. Grateful for the journey so far and looking forward to shape the future of NIL with students and brands. I mean, it's wild. Okay, what happened here? And I don't mean that as in raw or Chris May, raw or bad, right? Like what? I mean, just what's the story? Because I mean, according to a couple different people on Billikens.com, he was commuting or working remote from Columbia. And according to the quickest of map searches, it's a 2-hour drive at 6 p.m. on a Friday. And if he's still living in Columbia, to me, this doesn't feel like a permanent arrangement.
No, and so you sort of do some kind of like ex post facto work here to go like, okay, was he just brought on in sort of like a temporary capacity to like kind of get us up to speed, to bring in some expertise so that we could kind of build a structure around his knowledge? Because the fact that he never moved to St. Louis, it doesn't feel like a real commitment to the job, right? Like it feels like he always kind of kept one foot still in the Mizzou door, like he was never going to come all the way out of that. I don't really know. I mean, it could very well be that he had reasons for not making the move, assuming that's true, and that this opportunity just came up and he took it and that was it. But it really does feel like a kind of long-term consultant and not a permanent job that he had at SLU, right?
Would you maybe throw out the word interim?
I mean, looking at your notes, Zach, he was announced on January 24th. So here we are 8 months later. Is that even a full 8 months? 7 months later? That's a pretty short.
I thought he was here for over a year, but that's crazy. I even put that in the notes. I mean, was it January of the year before?
Well,
it had to be. I think it was. I think it was January. Yeah. I'm a bad note person.
Okay. Yeah. So 2024. So it's a year and a half. It's a year and a half.
Yeah.
He does have 2 kids, according to his profile here. So, okay. So sorry. We got the timeline right now. Yeah. A year and a half. He does have kids. I know, as somebody who's got kids, and it's not that easy to just up and move if you've got a good school situation for them and all of that. I get it. But yeah, I think it's definitely one of those departures that all of a sudden raises a bunch of questions that we didn't know we had.
Yeah, and I mean, not necessarily in a overarching bad way, right? Like, we're not here to say this is a bad thing.
No, we're truly just sort of curious. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's weird, and it's honestly interesting. It makes it more, there's more to the story, I think, is the kind of takeaway here is that, oh, that's interesting that they would bring him in as kind of this temporary role,
right?
Almost like a contract position. And it just never occurred to me, I guess, that could be, and I don't know if it occurred to anybody that could be a possibility.
No, especially because that title, assistant director of athletics, with the focus in compliance and NIL, it's just not a title that you think would be an interim position. It's not a title that feels temporary. It's like that's a real job, So I think we were all kind of surprised that it wasn't a longer commitment.
Speaking of commitments, the Billikens have hired a new swimming and diving head coach, and it's a Billiken Hall of Famer.
It sure is, Zach. Ryan McCoy comes to SLU from Illinois State, where he was an assistant. He was also an assistant at Indianapolis in Eastern Illinois before that. He's originally from Phoenix, but Zach, where his profile really gets interesting is what he did at SLU, because I don't think we've had a swimmer anything like him since then, and I don't think before either. When he was at SLU, he competed in the 2016 Olympic trials in the 100-meter butterfly and 200 butterfly, and met the NCAA B level qualifying standard at least twice in 4 different events, 11 times overall. He collected 20 medals, 10 individual, 10 relay at the A10 championships over his career. He was a 9-time conference champion, 5 individual, 4 relay, capturing at least 1 gold in each of his 4 seasons. 2015 A10 Rookie of the Year. He earned 10 league awards as either Performer or Rookie of the Week. Most Valuable Performer on the SLU men's team all 4 years he was there. He held 12 school records, 8 individual and 4 relay at the time of his graduation in 2018, and all but 2 of those, both relay marks, still stand today. So all 8 of those individual records are in place. He graduated undergrad from SLU with a sports business degree, and then got his MBA in applied management at Eastern Illinois. Zach, it's funny because it's like, if you ask me for like, what's the profile of like that would kind of be exciting to you as the swimming and diving head coach coming in, right? This is kind of exactly it. It's like, it's our program's all-time best swimmer. It's like an up and comer. I think I really like this on paper. I think it's an exciting potential hire here.
Yeah, I think there's no downside to this hire at all. It's only
Correct.
upside, and I don't want to sit here and I don't want anybody to misunderstand, but it's a perfect hire visually. There's nothing I can sit here and I can't nitpick this hire. Like it's a criticism proof hire.
I think,
and I don't, again, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that when you're Chris May and you're not, you have a certain, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to say it's higher or lower than it should be. I'm going to be totally on the level here. I'm not going to interject any of my opinion into the way he runs the athletic department. What I'm saying is, with whatever budgetary restrictions you have, whatever, facility restrictions you have, whatever difficulty you have in finding coaches that'll match what you want to pay, this is the direction you go. And you're going to find a better candidate for less money. If it's somebody who is invested in the program, who invested 4 years of their life in the program, you're going to get somebody, you're going to reach above your pay level to get that person. Maybe not much, but you're going to get a value there. Right. And second of all, it's an alumni of your program who has records to his name and has credentials competing and also as a coach in college. So it's on a non-revenue sport that's really just completely kind of forgotten about other than this podcast. So there's nothing that can go wrong with this hire at all.
Yeah, especially when you consider that since he's been gone, this program really hasn't done anything. I mean, like we're not the worst in the A10, but closer to that than the top of the league. And this is a guy who won gold medals every year he was here.
And to be honest, it really doesn't matter where we're at in the A10, because it's such like the only time we ever see Fordham is at the A10 meet. Like it's not like we compete. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a weird.
It's a benchmark, though. It's a benchmark.
Yes, correct, 100%.
Yeah. I think if you wanted to find anything to fret about here, it's just that he's young, right? Yeah. And maybe that's just the fact that I'm on the other side of 40 now. But class of 2018. So he would be what? I mean, if he's 22 when he graduates college, he's still under 30.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the new field hockey interim coach. So they're both kind of in the neighborhood of like 29 or so. So I think that's one thing. You look at somebody who's still not 30 and who hasn't had a head coaching job, but it's like, what better place to come try it out and start your career than somewhere where you know the lay of the land, you know the limitations of the program, you know your challenges, you know your hurdles, and you have a reasonable view of what the program can be. I mean, it's I think it's a really intriguing, like you say, a hire that's basically impossible to nitpick on paper, and so yeah, we really can't.
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for what he can do. I want to see a Billiken. I loved for my personal relationship, my friendship with Andrea Beatty from school at SLU. Besides the fact that I think she's a fantastic personality
Hmm.
and driven and passionate and a winner. Really, when it came down to it, I loved her hire just for the fact that she has, a love for the being a Billiken. She takes it seriously,
Hmm.
and that's kind of, I mean, when all else fails, if you take being a Billiken seriously, I mean, that's like putting your name on the SAT. You get major points for that, right? So I love that. It's a guy, he knows what he's getting into. He understands. He's a guy that was recommended. We've seen his name come across our Twitter mentions as somebody SLU should absolutely be looking at.
Yeah, yeah, and this is
By a
it's
SLU swim and dive alum.
yeah, yeah. It seems like people are like, oh wow, like they got it right. They got it
Yeah,
right here.
yeah,
It's not just us looking at him on paper and going, this makes sense.
yeah,
To have that personal endorsement, I think is pretty meaningful.
yeah. Again, he knows the challenges too.
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
SLU swimming and diving face year in, year out. He's worked. He clearly thinks he can work with the administration,
Hmm.
and work within the parameters. And so I I'm excited to see what he can do with it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Good hire.
Pete, let's switch over to men's basketball. And two big appearances this week for SLU basketball on the pro sports scene here in St. Louis. The first one, SLU Night at the Ballpark. Every year, Pete, every year, SLU Night at the Ballpark. When it's announced, I hear it, I see it. I'm like, I don't know if I like the merchandise this year. I don't know, but I'm going to do it this year. And every year, every freaking year, this event sneaks by me.
Hmm.
Like, I'm not going to buy the tickets the day. Like, I don't understand. The last email I got for this event was July 10th from SLU Athletics. The last email I got from SLU was July 30th. Like, I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound. I don't know what this sounds like, but I don't want to sound like it. But it's not my fucking responsibility to remember that this event exists. I get every Billiken event in my calendar, right?
Hmm.
August 27th, Billiken Night at the Ballpark. If you can put every basketball game, if you're including Billiken Madness as on your schedule and you're putting it in my calendar, you should put Billiken Night at the Ballpark. Any tangentially related events should be on the calendar. That's all I'm saying.
In the official, like the SLU calendar that they
The
upload. Yeah.
RSS feed, yeah.
The RSA. Okay, so fair enough, but I think the fact that you said this happens every freaking year means that
Yes.
this happens every year. And then the you said their last email about the event was July 10th. The event was on August 27th.
Yes.
So good 6 or so weeks later.
I've turned an additional year old since that email.
Amazing. So I think what you need to do now, Zach, is to say it's not your responsibility. I think might be there's at least what I would call a shared responsibility here.
I would say the percentage of that. Here, to quote the late great Mitch Hedberg, my responsibility, if it was a pie chart about whose responsibility it was to remind fans, a fan, my slice of blame, responsibility is the donated to charity part.
The really little part.
Yes, of the what you would do if you had $1 million.
Yeah,
The part, that's the part of the chart that is my responsibility to remember. I am saying that if you have an event that you want your fans to attend, you have to remind them. Like I'm not a person who buys tickets months in advance. I'm gonna get tickets last minute.
Mhm.
Like for a sporting event, I don't know what sporting events I'm gonna get unless it's the damn World Cup or the Olympics, and I'm gonna go. Then I'm gonna plan. Like I just don't get how if you're gonna put the Billiken Madness on the schedule, if you're gonna put events like that on the schedule or on your RSS calendar, freaking, I don't know. It just seems silly to not. These email blasts are coming from platforms like MailChimp. They're monthly fee. It's not like they're getting charged per email here. Like, yeah, I get it. Like they send out a lot of they've been sending out a lot more emails than they did last year. But I mean, send another one. People are not going to be mad that you sent an email saying, "Don't forget about Billiken Night at the ballpark the week of the event."
So a couple things here. SLU Night at the ballpark. Is there there might be because you could buy tickets through SLU. There might be a kind of like drop dead date after which you can't buy tickets for this specific event. You know what I mean? Because it does include every year. It includes a voucher for
Right.
a piece of SLU specific merch. So that's part of it. So they need to have a count on that kind of stuff.
I mean, I've gotten tickets.
I don't think if you got a ticket like the day of, like, yeah, maybe they'd have extras, but like, why not just get it early and not have to worry about it?
I mean, because I don't know, man. Because I don't fucking feel like it. Like you have to account for every, like, not every fan, but like you have to account for the fans that don't pick up that. Yes, 5,000%. Yes.
They make the mistake of thinking that the people reading this are grown-ups.
Yes.
And that they'll look ahead and they'll put a thing on their calendar, and then when the calendar flips to that month, they'll go, "Oh wait, yeah, on the 27th we've got that ball game."
I mean, I'm sorry. What if? Hold on, bear with me here. Bear with me. What if, like, Us Weekly decided they weren't going to put their magazine right there at the cash register when you're on your way out of the store? Mm-hmm. Would they sell magazine? Would they not? Like, is getting an impulse buy a week out from the event such a bad thing to reach for?
I mean, I guess I just would like if you're thinking about the whole audience of SLU Night at the ballpark, what percentage is impulse buy and why are we catering to them?
We're not catering.
Impulse buys are for the dumb part of your brain.
There's no catering.
Impulse buys are the dumb part. That's why in the checkout aisle it's candy and it's Us Weekly. It's not.
Are you saying Us Weekly is not a reputable?
It's not the Atlantic, right? It's not.
No,
that's not what's in the checkout line. There's not healthy food in the checkout line. It's not, edamame or something like that. It's like it's Us Weekly and it's candy. It's the dumb part of your brain. My point is, Zach, in Ohio, there's our state law contains what a principle called contributory negligence, and in an accident, for example, in a car accident, they will assess, and a claims adjuster will assess percentage of responsibility, and they'll only pay you out the part of the claim that you weren't responsible for, right? So like if you are trying to get out of a parking garage and someone's card isn't working or something like that, and they back up and back into you and you see it happening, you can still get only 90% of your claim because your claims adjuster will go, well, why didn't you honk your horn? Like they'll find some little reason. What I'm saying is, I think there's a shared responsibility here, and I think SLU should probably do a better job of going, hey, just a reminder, SLU Night at the Ballpark's coming up. But I think Zach Miller could also do a job of like the first time it's announced, given that this happens to Zach every year, the first time that it's announced, I think you could just plug it into your calendar, knowing that they're not going to do it for you, right? They're not going to do it for you. You're going to have to do it yourself.
I'm just
Even if you
asking
don't
for
buy the
better
ticket,
out of them. All right.
even if you don't buy the ticket at the time, just put it in your calendar. And next time you look at your calendar for that week or that month, you go, oh, that's right. And turns out I don't have anything going on that night, so I'm going to go ahead and get the ticket now because it's not May and I can handle it.
Pete, you're not my dad.
Sometimes I feel like it though, Zach, because
I know, but what I'm saying is, like,
I have to teach you this responsibility.
What I'm saying though is that, like, what's the harm in, hey, reminder, like, yes, most people
I
are buying.
Completely agree with you.
Most people are buying the tickets in advance, but like some people don't know what the hell's happening. Like it can't be over a month out from the event.
Fair enough.
I
agree.
Like,
they got to do better. I mean, like we both know they got to do better on that kind of stuff.
I mean, do they not? I would love to know what SLU gets kicked back.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Like what the kickback is. I guess I could find out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would be too hard to.
It happened to come during the week where they had the lowest attendance in that stadium's history.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so having an event like that was ticketed ahead of time is all the more valuable because you're getting a guaranteed number of people in a group block, right? The giveaway this year, Zach, with a hat, I think you said is not exactly your style, but I guess that's neither here nor there. They have had some really good giveaways in the past, though. Yeah,
they have.
This is one of those events I would sign up for every year, even if just to get that piece of merch.
I wish there was like a database of all the past years. Yeah. Like, I mean, like looking back, I think like the standouts, obviously I really liked the quarter zip. I still wear it like on late summer, early fall outside, like just without anything underneath it. Like I'll wear that with a pair of shorts. Mm-hmm. You liked you were a big fan of the baseball jersey.
The V-neck. Yeah, they did that the blue mesh one year.
Yes.
V-neck, gray, STL, kind of the Cardinals looking one, but SLU has worn, the similar STL before too. Those were great. I really like that one.
What else did they do? They've done the hat. Is that the second hat? They've done a few different hats.
They've done a few different hats.
I don't remember. I mean, they didn't do they did do a tumbler. I do believe they did a tumbler, but it's not the same as the one they gave away. I think that was the kind of the joke is when they did it for the, by the way, they should rename the Billiken Club to Billiken Plus, just like City Plus does. Just go along with that new, like the Billiken Club needs such a big rebrand. It's not even funny. I don't know where that came from, but I was just thinking about giveaways. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about giveaways. Like City does perks for their fans, where they have like if you have a City Plus membership, I think every month you get a gift or something.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what the structure of it is, but anyway. I just don't think it costs anything extra to have SLU remind us of something. I mean, obviously, the baseball team is shitty. The Cardinals baseball. So it's a tough time. They were at the City match too.
They were, Zach. Game ball was handed out. Robbie Avila, Kellen Thames from men's basketball, and then Hannah Wallace and Zaya Nugent from the women's team. Tom Timmerman said these are the team captains. I don't know. That's the first time I've seen that officially anywhere. But they delivered the game ball at the Houston City game on Saturday night, Zach. So really good visibility for the program yet again.
And then City gave up 3 straight goals
That they
in the
did.
match. Yeah.
That they did. But they
They
did come
should have
back.
won that game. They should have
Came
won
back
that game.
2/3 of the way. Yeah, almost got there.
I mean, yeah. Let's talk recruiting, Pete. Hurley Brutus.
Such a good
The
name.
Brutus.
Such a good name.
I don't.
Yes.
I'm not as big of like. It's not as. I'm not as big of a fan of the name as everybody else is, but I mean, it's a good one. It's on the list.
It's a good one. It's Herly and then Brutus, just like it sounds. It's pretty solid. He was on campus this week. We got some good photos of the visit from his Twitter, Instagram feeds. He's the 6'7" forward from Florida. He's a top 100 prospect. He's also going to visit Florida State, Gonzaga, and Utah, but SLU got the first visit. I haven't heard anything about a commitment or anything like that. I would be surprised if he had committed to us before going to at least 2 of those other 3. So we'll be keeping an eye on that recruitment. He's a really, really good player. So yeah. Hopefully, Zach. Hopefully, he doesn't get won over by some of those bigger programs.
SLU is really finding that groove here with those guys that are, top 100. Well, like you said last week, they're really finding a groove at they're reaching up maybe a little bit higher than normal, trying to account for that NIL that is. The transfer portal, I guess, more so than NIL.
Yeah, I think that's where it's getting spent, right? So we've been saying it for a while, and not just us, not just you and me, but other people too. It's like there's good value to be had in the high school ranks, all the way up and down. I mean, like, yeah, your 5 stars are going to be really, really expensive, but as soon as you get to even to the top 50 to 100 range, especially once you get north of like the 75, 100-ish. So yeah, that 50 to 150 range, there are some very good game-ready high school prospects who are a way better value than a lot of the proven commodities that are in the transfer portal, right? Or the guys who have more college experience. So it's smart if you like. Schertz is a real program builder. Even when he was back at LMU, he really liked to redshirt guys and keep them around as long as possible. And if you can be successful with getting those guys in and then retaining them, and retention is not, I know it's hard, but it's not that expensive for guys who have not played much yet, right? Like, so if they redshirt or they don't play much a freshman year, they're not going to go out on the market and earn a whole bunch of money. They're only going to leave because they want to play immediately, right? And they're getting frustrated. So that's the situation where they leave. I still think there's a lot of value to be had there. So you're right. They're targeting that range, and I think they're going to be finding some success there.
Let's talk about Eli Sancomb. He cut his list down, and the Billikens are in good company.
They are. Yeah, we're in the top 5 along with Loyola, Iowa, Colorado State, and Liberty. He has official visits scheduled to all 5. So we expected this one. He previously had 3 visits scheduled. SLU was the 4th, right? So he had, it was Liberty, it was Loyola, and then it was Belmont, which I guess has now been swapped out for Iowa and Colorado State. But he said he also wanted to visit SLU. So turned us into one of his top 5 and official visits. He's the combo guard from West Virginia, really solid all-around guard. I like the video on this kid a lot. He seems like a really savvy player.
How about a new offer out to Hunter Caplan?
Hunter Caplan, yeah, he's in the class of 27, so a year younger than the other guys we've been talking about, but he's a 6'3" guard from Crean Lutheran, spelled like Tom Crean, in Irvine, California, and he plays for All In Elite AAU, which is an Under Armour program. I guess you could call him either like a combo guard or just a true point guard with elite shooting ability. He's on the smaller side, like he's kind of skinny, but he really is a complete guard in that he can knock it down consistently off the catch or dribble. Really deadly shooter. But then he's got like the whole point guard toolkit. Great ball handler, passer, great vision. He likes to get into the lane and finish, even though he's on the smaller side. Really crafty. So he's a good player, good long-term prospect. He certainly looks like he's got some growing to do. Other offers right now, Cal was the last one before SLU. And then before that, he had Wichita State, San Diego, Green Bay, Long Beach State, and UC Santa Barbara. So little bit more West Coast focus, which makes sense. But I think he's becoming more of a national recruit at this point.
Uh, Pete, you know who really should be a national recruit? 2 Minute Garden Salsa. I mean, the sooner they go national, the sooner they take off to the moon.
You know, Zach, and they can go national with $9.99 nationwide shipping, but there's flat rate. There's always a conversation every year in popular culture about the song of the summer, right? What's the song of the summer? There's always some. Maybe there's consensus, maybe there's some disagreement. I think it becomes harder and harder as we become a more fragmented culture. But I gotta say,
that means.
my flavor of the summer, Zach, is the mango habanero salsa at 2 Men in a Garden. It's the perfect amount of sweetness from the mango, spiciness from the habanero, from the peppers, and you've got that nice tomato salsa base. It's just a really good all-around salsa. I just ripped through a jar of it. Fantastic stuff. It's the flavor of the summer. Get it while summer is still on. It's August 31st as we record. We're now into September. It is still technically summer for a few more weeks. And it might be a little late to get it before your Labor Day festivities, but nevertheless, it's great stuff. Go get it now. 2meninagarden.com.
It's one of those flavors that people are always, they don't often, but when they do, hop into our mentions to talk about 2 Men in the Garden, mango habanero is always the one. It seems like people are just really fond of.
It's a crowd pleaser.
It's very popular.
Yeah.
The men's soccer continues to roll here, Pete. Defensive. One of the most stout defensive teams I think we've seen in a long time, at least so far this season. But the A10 Offensive Player of the Week went to a Billiken and Andrew Heckenlaible, who got the game winner against number 5 Southern Methodist University. Most famous, by the way, some of you may not know, for getting the death penalty in football.
Back in the 80s.
People forget that.
People forget that. It's been a while now.
You know what? Weirdly, yes, it has.
Yeah, almost 40 years. But yeah, game winner, and it's funny, Zach. When I saw that he had gotten that award, you're kind of like, he just scored one goal. But then you think about it in context. You're like, yeah, okay. So it's like the first week of the season, he scores one goal. Is there nobody else who scores more than one goal? But there's certainly nobody else who scored a bigger goal in the A10 that week, because it upended a number 5 team, and that's true. I think that's worthy of the award.
I think it's interesting you say that, because Quentin Blair is the player of the game in the 1-0 win over Seton Hall, and I didn't get to see a lot of the game, but again, I guess we're going defensive with that player of the game.
Guess we are, yeah, Zach, because it was, as you said, a 1-0 win on Saturday the 30th. And in the 22nd minute, it wasn't Quentin Blair, it was Grady Easton, his backline mate, who scored on a header from a Braden Sellers cross. The play started with a corner kick that eventually went to Carlos Leatherman in the middle of the box. He sent it out to Sellers, who sent in the cross that found Grady Easton's forehead. And that was it, Zach. That was all the scoring, even though SLU played the last 26 minutes with a man advantage after a Seton Hall player was given a straight red card.
Yeah, not the best to see, but you do what you have to do to win, and the non-conference in the A10 is certainly kind of a preseason, and I think this team certainly has at-large aspirations. They do every year, but I think I think the route to the NCAA tournament almost always goes through the A10 tournament, and I think this is discovery time for this men's soccer team, and even this year on the women's side, and we'll get into that. But another a big a good second match of the season for the Billikens. Did we run down the stats here?
Not yet, but did you catch that red card by the way when he
No, I didn't.
so it was a dirty play. Grady Easton is the one who actually found a streaking Theo Franca, and this Seton Hall player Constantine Denali has just shoved him down from behind. I mean, it was an obvious call. It was just outside the box, so he didn't get a PK for it. But maybe it was worth it in the end. Look, because it looked like it was going to be a goal. I mean, he was free and clear. He just had the keeper to beat, and SLU didn't score again, even though they had the one man advantage. So I guess it was worth it. Seton Hall ended up getting three more yellow cards after that. Leatherman also picked one up. Things got really chippy over the second half. But Zach, Jeremy Abenel made one save. It was a huge one late in the second half. Dode was right, got a glove on it. It looked like a certain goal without that save. So he came up big yet again. Why don't you run us down the stats?
The stats were 10-4 in shots to the favor of the Billikens, 3-1 shots on goal for the SLU, corners 5-4 Billikens, and then the fouls. Seton Hall had 17, the Billikens 12, including that red card that you mentioned before. Looking back at the week slash end, the weekend, this team is not ranked yet. I think they're certainly they're flirting with it. It's the first time they've started with 3 straight shutouts since the 99 season.
Yeah, they're going to be ranked. They're going to be ranked. I mean, maybe not if it's just 3 random teams, but when you beat a team that's ranked in the top 5.
This team still needs to find their big scoring threat, Pete.
Yeah, so you have O'Neill, Pare, Heckenlaible, Delkas, Franca. They've all kind of had their moments, but no one has really emerged as the guy yet. I mean, there's some goals in that group, but I just I don't know. Nobody looks like oh, there's the guy who's that striker, the really dangerous one up top. I haven't seen that yet. But Zach, things are looking solid at the other end. Easton and Quentin Blair, who we've mentioned already, have played every minute so far this season, all 90 minutes, all 3 games. So there is something in the back line that's really solidifying in front of Abenel.
Yeah, and you mentioned Abenel because he's living up to his billing right now as the top keeper in the A10 and arguably one of the best in the country. Again, hasn't allowed a goal this season, a 1.00 save percentage. And those saves have been crucial. And I think, this was obviously a godsend to Kalish and the Billikens to have Jeremy Abenel back. And this will, it's certainly a big boost. They just need to find that scoring threat. And this team, yeah. I think this team can win the A10 going away.
Yeah. Yeah, they really could because they're very solid in the back.
Yeah. The games with Dayton are going to be just absolute grinders.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait.
Talk about what's coming up next for the Bills.
Wednesday the 3rd, they're going to be at Indiana. And then Sunday the 7th against SIUE. So last season, Zach, we had Indiana at home. SLU came out on top 2-0, but they did lose 1-0 to SIUE at City Park. So, going to be.
They have to beat SIUE.
Yeah,
have
to get back on the right side of that one.
Have to. It's two losses in a row.
Yeah,
is not good. And those are the 2 games that were at City Park.
Yeah,
I mean, we talk about missed opportunities, and that's certainly, again, we talked about missed opportunities on the marketing side of things for those games. And, SLU just didn't, SLU didn't take it seriously off the field. And I don't know that they lose. Gotta win, got to win that bronze boot back. Pete, on the women's side, the Billikens got 3 commitments. It's just a deluge of commitments here.
The 2027 class is really coming into shape already. They've got Leela McGessie, who plays both center back and forward for the Michigan Jaguars. I believe she only plays for her club team, so she's number 1. Charlotte Wilson, a defender from Ladue and St. Louis Development Academy, is number 2. And then Sophia Snips is her nickname, Skago from Narings Hall and Lou Fuse. She plays basically every position except goalie. So Snips is versatile. Always fun to have somebody with a well-publicized nickname coming onto the roster.
You have to have one of those.
Yeah.
Pete, the Billiken started out this week a 1-0 win against Indiana Thursday, the 28th. This started out with just a lot of frustration from the Billiken side of things. 2 goals were disallowed due to offsides calls. Pete, the first one I thought was close. I thought, I think worst case, it's just it's like that city call where like there's no way you could, at best it's a no call. You just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those where it's way too close to make that call, to make that error of commission versus an error of omission. And then that second one, I think Hope was offside there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. I wasn't, I'm not mad about that one, but I think the word you tapped on that's right is frustrating. They were dealing with a lot of frustration in the first half. And so when you do have a couple close calls like that, it just doesn't help. Especially, both on what were goals.
And it magnifies some of the shit that happens to you throughout the game outside of your control. It magnifies how awful the officials were that night. And SLU, but again, it's just a magnification of SLU being really inconsistent or really insistent on trying to make the extra pass, trying to pass through Indiana in the final third and find that easy tap in when it just really wasn't going to happen at this point of the season with this new group. It's, we're going to get into it further with the game winning goal, or kind of the breakdown of what happened there. But it was Audrey Smith breaking the seal in this one.
Yeah, in the 78th minute, she found a slot in traffic right in front of the net off a nice cross from Caroline Shire, who made a nice cut to her left, by the way, to get some separation and then send it in from a tight angle just off the end line. Eva Schreiber also got an assist on the play. So really sharp goal, on a nice play to gain some separation and relieve a lot of frustration. But they still had 12 minutes of clock to kill.
Pete, easy. Relieving frustration it's a rabbit hole we're not going to go down.
All right.
By the way, big fan of Caroline Shire. There was a moment there where I was sitting on the other side, or not the other side, but the opposite, the press box, and I was kind of giving the ref the business verbally, and on one of the calls, like just asking him what he was looking at, and I think it was Caroline Shire turned around and she goes, "He's stupid." Like.
She's got it.
Yeah, very, very funny moment.
She's got moxie. Young player with some moxie. I like it.
Big fan. Good. But yeah, Indiana was sagging, like I said on Twitter. This was a play where, throughout the entire night, Indiana had just been sagging off the Billiken attack. And the first time, SLU took advantage of the time and space given to them. And I think what you saw in this was a player finally receiving the ball out wide and Caroline Shire picking her head up, realizing that Indiana, she had time and space. She didn't have to find the quick pass. She realizes that Indiana was backing them off and just running at them and not necessarily trying to beat them, because that's what Indiana is baiting you. They're baiting you into making either a quick pass or they're baiting you into trying to beat them off the dribble. And neither of those things are working. Instead, Caroline Shire realizes that Indiana is going to give her the space. She's taking that space to make the cross, not necessarily beat the player. Like, it's not in her mind that she's going to be. She just wants to get to the end line. She doesn't care if the Indiana player is still there or not. She's realizing that she's got the time and space to make a play, taking a breath. To quote Mark Wahlberg in Shooter, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So take your time. It was frustrating because the entire game you're watching it and you're like, Indiana is giving you space to run. You can run at Indiana. They're not playing up on you. They're playing very conservatively on the back line. So it was one of those where it finally SLU kind of had that aha moment, is this is what we need to do. And they did it.
And the frustration is all there on the stat sheet. 22-6 were the shots in SLU's favor. 10-1 at halftime. Only one of SLU's attempts was on goal. Shots on goal 6-2 for the game. Corners 8-3. Fouls Indiana 9, SLU 5. So not too high numbers in that department, but both Hannah Larson and Riley Howard ended up with yellow cards late in the game. Yeah, just a lot of frustration. It's a cruel sport when you can outplay a team like that and still either come away with a tie or a loss. So thank God she found the back of the net in that play in the 78th minute.
Let's talk about this disappointing 3-0 loss at number 10-8 Iowa. Sunday the 31st. Iowa scored just 4 minutes and 16 seconds in the game, and that was kind of it.
Yeah, it was kind of clear who the better team was in this one. At least for most of the game. Iowa wound up getting a second goal in the 34th minute and took a 2-0 lead into halftime. And then Nimu Karani replaced Emma Parker in goal at half, Zach, and that third goal came just 5 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, I thought this one was kind of like a bit of a weak goal. I think the announcers even talked about it late in the match. By the way, the announcers in this one, they were top notch as far as like the, calling the play and their professionalism. But like, man, did they just not give SLU their flowers on like what they built? Like they were just not. They were like, yeah, like SLU, like it was kind of like they capped us out at like 23rd in the country. Over like they've been in the top like I don't know 40 to 75 in the nation the last 7. Like what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yeah.
Like we've been in the top 10 more than 1 year, like at least 1 point in multiple years.
Yeah, this isn't like some buy game, like
yeah, no, I mean not even that he was making that point. It was just like dude, like why are you saying like 40 to 70? Like this team is a women's soccer kind of like it was such a fucking like power conference oversight. It was just annoying, but they were really good. I thought the road announcers this week were fantastic. I mean, the guy today at Iowa, the Ball State field hockey announcer was good. The Southern Indiana was really good for being University of Southern Indiana. Indiana's like Indiana's spiritually like a South, like that's Southeast United States spiritually when it comes to athletics.
Well, yeah, especially if you're getting down to Evansville, I think it's right across from Kentucky. It's
down. Good point. It's
way down there. Yeah, but yeah, Zach, don't disagree on any of those points. I think I don't know, Zach. I mean, do you have any questions about the way SLU came out and approached this game? Is there anything you would have done differently?
Yeah, I mean, look, like this is like the first time I've ever looked at a Katie Shields decision directly and been like, I don't know. I mean, I know like the team you got right now, it's a game that it's kind of like I talked about discovery time, find out who's gonna like, just like at Penn State, sink or swim. We're going to see who can hang this early in their career. We can see who can't. And I think, you're not necessarily expecting a win in this one, but you're down 2-0.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you bring in a goalkeeper, well, you change keepers. Who knows? It's 2-0 and SLU had some chances in that second half. If one goes in the back of the net, it's game on.
Yeah.
And maybe Iowa puckers a little bit more than they would if it's 3-1. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they clench a little bit tighter. So I don't know. I think this is probably the first time I thought I don't know, looking at that Indiana game, like you can say that maybe Shield should have, impressed a little harder on her attacking players, that Indiana was giving all that space. But again, you could, it's up to the players to make that to flip that switch too. So Again, I think this is kind of the one time I've been like, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
The stats, I mean, to me, the stats, well, you can run them down, but it's like it amplifies what we saw in the Indiana game, where it's that disconnect in the passing game, in the communication, where I think SLU just doesn't have that poise on the ball because they're not exactly sure where everyone's going to be. And I think in this one, you look at the stats, and SLU's lack of offense comes from not being, I mean, Iowa's a good team. They're going to take advantage of the missed opportunities to even get some offense going much more than in Indiana. And I think that's what we saw in this one, where the SLU just couldn't string together enough passes or kind of overpower them physically in this one. So you just run down the stats.
Shots were 16-5 in Iowa's favor. That was 9-1 at halftime. Shots on goal were 9-2. Corners were closer. SLU 3, Iowa 4, and then fouls 16-12. Iowa had more of those. But Zach, I will give you one silver lining to this game. We had Julia Simon for the first time this season play 26 minutes as they kind of ease her back into action. So getting closer to full strength. That's a promising sign.
That would be a major addition for this team that desperately needs some experience and some leadership, I think, on the field.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the MO of this team, though, looking back at this weekend, is I think early on in the season, it's a talented group, but it's missing, like I said, that connection to do those really special things in non-conference matches. And I think this team is still going to be the class of the A-10 on paper, but certainly not a lock to win the league, win the A-10 championship, and go on to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. No foregone conclusion this year. And then, Zach, in much of that Indiana game, you have SLU failing in the final third through the pass, and then against Iowa, you can't do that same thing. No. Like that, this is a much better team, right?
Yeah, they're gonna hit you on the counterattack, and they're gonna capitalize on those chances
for sure.
I mean, look, the last few years you've been able to Sharpie the Billikens into the A-10 as the A-10 tournament champion.
Yeah.
And this year's feels like a team that's not good enough to tempt fate. You're not going to be good enough to avoid to out duel bad luck.
That's a good way of putting it. I will give them a lot of credit for playing this schedule, though. They're playing the same kind of schedule they did the last few years when they had an absolutely loaded veteran team, which they don't have right now. They have a very good team of like a fringe top 25-ish team, but they don't have veterans who've been playing together a long time. So you hope that they're battle tested, that they've seen everything that they could see.
That's exactly right.
In the A-10 by the time that they get to the A-10.
That is how you account for. I mean, it's the same thing you would do if you had the roster, right? Like it's sticking to your beliefs and your strategies and your program building philosophies. Sure. And I think that's the way to go. I think we saw that, and Cordis did that a lot here. I mean, there were games where like SLU beat Penn, like what we hosted Stanford, beat Stanford when they were number 2, and then hosted Penn State. I mean, they would regularly play. I think, in fact, like Ann used to call it preseason.
The non-conference.
Yeah, it was preseason.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love it. I think the soccer teams here at SLU are in different kind of. It's a different world. Sure. In that they do have the opportunity to win or to get the at-large bid. But I think it's a good way to look at it. I wish, I obviously wish men's basketball would have taken that same route. Now do you have to promise 10 home games? Sure. But I don't know. It's frustrating. Yep. Anyway. The goalkeeping situation is kind of interesting. I think we've been spoiled with Percelli, man. Parker's good. She's good, but I think you're seeing some of that and that young, inexperienced, miscommunication. She's had some mishandlings going up for crosses into the box or anything high. I think she jumps really early. Have you seen that? It's funny. She will jump really like there were like 3 or 4 in one game where I was like, oh my God, is she gonna come down with that?
Because she went, yeah, she
Yeah.
does, yeah. I have noticed that she bites a little early on things, but I mean, again, yeah, like you say, she's a sophomore, and
Yeah.
a sophomore, like a lot of the others here who didn't play a lot last year. Their other keepers, sophomore, freshman. You're looking through a lot of their other starters, redshirt sophomore, sophomore. That's kind of where they are for the most part here. We've got a couple seniors, like we just said, Julia Simon, she's a redshirt senior, she's back. Howard's a senior. Obviously you've got Hannah Larson, who's been there forever. She's still around. So you've got a few veterans, but by and large, the kind of median player on this team is a sophomore who's a starter for the first time. I should say more like, the median like minutes eater on this team right now. So we'll see it come together. It's a talented group. And yeah, like we said, you just hope that they're battle tested by the time that A10 rolls around.
On the volleyball side of things, Pete. Oh, wait, did we? We didn't. We did not. We did not talk about what's coming up next. The Billikens they stay home Thursday the 4th against Missouri State, and then Sunday the 7th at SIUE. Last season, the Billikens took down Missouri State 4-0 and then beat SIUE 6-1 at City Park. So again, should be actually Sunday the 7th. Maybe I can sneak out and see that game at SIUE.
Yeah.
Maybe I can pull that off.
Not too far away.
No, it's a bit of a hike, Maybe I can ride my bike. It's right there.
Oh, there's good trails over there.
I know that the Madison County Trail.
They're great.
It's no Little Miami Trail.
It's no Little Miami, but there's some long, flat, paved, nice trails.
The Little Miami Trail is fantastic. By the way, that's up in Cincinnati for you non-Cincinnatians.
It's really great.
We're gonna learn some new names, Pete. This is a young team. They play 4 freshmen, big minutes. Pete, the last time 4 freshmen played big minutes, I'm reminded of the names of Roth, McLeod, Funky, and Barons.
It was a good group.
Yeah, it's a great group.
Yeah.
The best, maybe pre Katie Shields, the best group of maybe the best incoming class ever in the modern era.
Interesting. Okay.
Since the internet was invented. Okay. Or no,
okay.
We'll say hold on. Since 1990.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'm not going to argue it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I loved like on that list, we're looking at like recruiting classes. I mean, Jordan Jet, McCall, Evans.
Yeah, I mean that's the first one that came to mind.
You would have
I would really have to dig into like other sports, to kind of figure out who was in whose class. Because a lot of the players, them best when they're veterans and, maybe their classes didn't line up necessarily.
Yeah, that's true. The Billikens, however, they only took 2 or 3. It was feast or famine in this one, Pete.
It really was in the Evansville tournament this weekend. They started out with a 3-0 win over Northern Kentucky on Friday, 25-23, 25-19, 25-15. And Zach, freshman Ellie Rink, had back-to-back kills to win the first set, and the Bills never really looked back from there. Freshman Tamaya, I'm going to go with. Maddox led SLU with 11 kills. Freshman Jetta Brenning had 33 assists and 13 digs for the double-double in her first collegiate game. Kennedy Cooper had 5 blocks. Tamia. Okay. Yeah. We'll go with Tamia. All right. And then Olivia Bronner had 3 straight service aces in the third set. She's actually a junior. SLU is her third school after Northern Iowa. and Middle Tennessee State. In this match, Zach, SLU won every statistical category, out-hit the Norse 270 to .091. And the young kids got it done there, Zach.
Yeah, I like that path for Olivia Bronner. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know shit about UNI volleyball, but I feel like Middle Tennessee State puts some teams on the floor. I feel like they've done like Northern Iowa was 26-8 the year before last year. And then Middle Tennessee State. I mean, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. But I like that path. That's a good get, I think. 3-0 win on Friday the 29th at 7 p.m. The evening game. 25-22, 25-19, and 25-23 over Southern Indiana. Another one where SLU won every stat and out-hit the Screaming Eagles, not just the Eagles, Pete. Screaming Eagles. Do you think it's sexist to call the women's team the Screaming Eagles? They're the shrill.
I do not.
The nagging Eagles, if you will.
Maybe it's sexist to ask that question.
It is
to associate that with female.
Yeah, no, very much. They're very possible. Let's a fake editor that we have. Yeah, our producer, cut that out.
Producer will handle that.
Out. Yeah, producer will cut that out. It's not like the Sugar Bears.
No.
Ellie Rink had 16 kills, which I still think is awesome. Like, if you're going to get creative with it, that's the best. Like, go that. Like, if you're going to do it, be creative with it, and that gets you out of it, I think. Ellie Rink, 16 kills. She seems like the real deal here. Sophomore Kayla Jansen led SLU with 7 blocks. Brenning had 24 assists and 13 digs. Sophomore Chloe Mon had 13 digs. And then it was Famine, which is weird because Valpo lost their game in this tournament as well. So figure that one out. It's just it's weird like that.
Yeah, 3-0 was the loss on Saturday, 18-25, 21-25, and 14-25 in the last one. SLU got to within 1 late in that second set, but Valpo kept them at arm's distance in the other 2, obviously running away with that third one. Brenning had her 3rd straight double-double with 23 assists and 10 digs, but SLU got out hit 320 to 131. Just never really close when you look at the whole thing. Next up, Zach, the Billiken Invitational in the Pavilion on Friday and Saturday, featuring Austin Peay, Murray State, and Western Illinois.
Yeah, Valpo lost 3-2 to Northern Kentucky.
Go figure.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's college sports be like that, I guess. Field hockey, the preseason A10 poll. Would it surprise you that the Bills were picked 7th out of 7?
No, I think that was probably the easiest pick in the conference, honestly, based on what you've got on paper.
St. Joe's was first with 5 first-place votes. They really benefited from UMass leaving the conference.
They did.
Richmond and VCU tied for second, which each with a first-place vote. And then Davidson, Lockhaven, LaSalle, and SLU. Those are like all I want out of this field hockey team is to be better than Davidson on most nights.
Yeah. I mean, there's look, I mean, this is a sport where like losing UMass actually hurts, right? Because we had a very consistent top half and bottom half. Yeah. But SLU usually has a chance against those Lockhaven, LaSalle, and Davidson teams. Top half, not really. But if you can you can see a path to outperforming the bottom half of the league, and you're right. That's what you want.
I would really like. Have I told you my desire to have Bellarmine in the conference?
In the A10 or just in the
A10? Oh, I mean, I like Bellarmine in general. I think it would anything west of like every other school on the coast would be nice. Like I'm just sick of it. Like I'm sick of not being able to drive to games.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So, but I think they would be a good addition to A10 field hockey. If they wanted to, they're in like many different conferences, so it'd be right up their alley. Can you tell me? Hold on, Pete. Tell me how many. Give me the three conferences that Bellarmine play in.
Well, isn't their primary league the Ohio Valley?
No.
Okay. I was not prepared to talk about Bellarmine University tonight.
They are in the. They are in the.
They're really not in the Ohio. I guess I'm thinking of Southern Indiana because I'm thinking of teams that recently went up to D1, and Bellarmine is in one of those.
They're in 4 conferences, but we'll only count 3 because the other one is not a real sport. They are in the Atlantic Sun.
Oh wow!
The SoCon, and they are in the MAC.
For what sports?
I don't know. What am I supposed to know? Which ones? Jesus.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Soccer. Soccer, basketball. They're in the Atlantic Sun.
Okay.
I think field hockey. Field hockey might be in the. I think they're in the. I don't know. They're in the MAC for football, I guess. That would make sense. Or no, they don't have football. They have sprint football, which that's the conference I didn't count. It's the MSFL.
Okay.
But yeah, they have I don't know. They're in 3 leagues, apparently. Doesn't matter. Anyway, just a fun fact. But I would like to beat Davidson and Lock Haven. I'd like to beat Lock Haven every goddamn time.
This is saying, Zach, Atlantic Sun primary, SoCon wrestling, MAC field hockey, and MSFL for sprint football.
Yeah. Atlantic Sun for primary is weird.
That is weird. I'm looking at the Ace Sun right now, and that's just a conference that's had
beach volleyball.
It's had a lot of movement, a lot of in and outs. So
they have a lot of the men's soccer league has got SEC teams in it.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one that has Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is why this league messes me up so bad. They have 5 teams leaving on July 1st, 2026.
You know what's kind of cool about Bellarmine's basketball arena is they have a stage at the end of it, and but
like
it's
a high school.
Yeah, but they use it like they use it as like a luxury area.
Oh wow!
They have glass. They have glass, like like a glass railing type deal.
Yeah.
And then they have like they have like seats up there, like tables, like high top tables. Very interesting.
That's fun. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back. Good thing we didn't go down that during basketball.
Yeah.
People would have fucking been pissed. The Billikens finished up their exhibition schedule against Maryville on Thursday, the 28th. It was 2-0 win. Sierra Larson scored from the run of play. Olivia Smith scored off a penalty stroke. Lord Elron baked in the sun to get us those updates. Thank you, Lord Elron. And then they lost their regular season opener 3-2 at Ball State Sunday the 31st. It's a carbon copy of what happened last year. I don't know about the scoring. Whatever. Ball State scored twice in the third before Ignacia Manriquez got SLU on the board to make it 2-1 at halftime. The Cardinals went up 3-1 in the third, and SLU answered. Olivia Smith scored off a corner, but with Abby Vitas and Bryn Newborn assisting. SLU was outshot 15-10, and Abby Shallow made 6 saves. I thought Abby Shallow kind of made an error on that first goal. I thought she could have probably done better. Ball State was picked to finish 6th in the MAC, right in the middle of a league that now has UMass expected to win it. We should probably move field hockey out of the A10. There's really nothing here for it.
I mean, I think we're just a full member, right? Is what it comes down to.
We got to figure out some way to get them out of there, right? Like put them in the Midwest, and maybe we'd win a couple conference games once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're in the A10, you're in the A10.
If when you're a Jet, you're a Jet.
Our agreement probably says like if you have like a sport that the A10 competes in, then you got to be in the A10.
Okay.
Like those other conference affiliations for Bellarmine, that's not because they feel like being in a different conference in those sports. It's because the conference doesn't host those sports.
Well, the conference here's my point. Guys, there's 7 teams. Maybe we shouldn't have it. Like,
I mean,
that's not even a league, dude. Like, that's not even a fantasy football league. You gotta have 8 guys to play. Like,
it's the one where UMass's departure is the most stark, to be honest.
Yes. Next up will be the home opener on Saturday the 6th against Ohio, and then Sunday the 7th versus Lincoln Memorial. By the way, Stu on SLU had a little blog on Laura Herf, and the fake headline that I'm giving it is interim by choice.
Yeah, that's right, Zach. She one of her quotes in here was, "I wanted to come in and be able to give these girls in the program my full heart and soul. If I came in already committing to a year, I think that would have taken away from what I'm good at because it adds multiple layers and stressors. It allowed me to get to know this team, the administration, and St. Louis in general. I've been pleasantly surprised by a lot of it." So as we kind of
hold on. What is which part is the a lot of it?
That's more specifics than she was willing to get into.
Clearly.
But we kind of theorized that maybe the interim tag was her idea. Coming in that late, if you call yourself a head coach, you kind of, this is coming in that late. You've kind of been set up for failure, right? And you don't want your head coaching record to carry all of these losses from a place where nobody was going to win. So I think she's going to do it for a year and test drive it and see if she wants to hang on and be the head coach or if it's just not the right fit. I guess it buys SLU some time as well, but kind of an interesting situation.
I mean, I think her credentials more than like she should have the job full stop. I mean, I get it. I think it's interesting because I think there's some things unsaid here. If I came in and already committing to a year, like I think that's the context is obviously like if I came in this late and committed to a year, like that's, I think the stressors are that like I could, like you said, the layers and stressors are the record and her career and how the impact that coming in to try to guide a program through a year after being named head coach 8 days before practice starts without being able to recruit anybody. You don't want that. Like nobody sees that you were hired 8 days before this. Everybody sees that you were the head coach.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Run us down actually big news out of cross country this week.
Yeah, really, really good news. Well, first off, we'll do the preseason poll, Zach. The women were picked 8th in the A10. First place was Loyola with 13 votes. The only other first place vote getter was number 2, LaSalle. And then Loyola also got 13 first place votes on the men's side as the heavy favorite this season. SLU was picked to finish 5th in the league on the men's side. But the first meet, I would say, was a pretty good success, Zach. The Mizzou cross country opener on Friday the 29th. The women finished 3rd behind Mizzou and Arkansas. Star Scott finished 15th overall with the time of 18:03, a big jump from her performance last season. And the men did pretty well too, Zach.
Yeah, they did. Let's see. The men finished 2nd behind Mizzou and ahead of Chex Notes, Oregon and Wisconsin. The top 5 for SLU all finished in the top 20 overall. John Bell called it the best start to the season they could have hoped for. Our women's ran significantly faster than we did a year ago. Not only that, but our 1 through 5 and 1 through 7 spreads which are critical to team scoring, were some of the best in program history. The same can be said for the men. Even though we never run 5K for the men, they ran extremely well. They beat some really talented athletes out of Oregon and Wisconsin. Our 1 through 5 spread was only 16 seconds, which might be the best we've ever had. Alexander Acuna and Ronnie Brown were unbelievable in their freshman debuts. Neither one of them looked like freshmen. Oregon didn't run their top guys, obviously, but they didn't run a bunch of Jerrys out there either. Wisconsin went out slow, kind of intentionally here, and they tried to run back through the field, but SLU held them off. The times weren't outstanding, but still excited for the men's group. That's beating 2 top 10 teams, and Mizzou was receiving votes. I mean, even if they weren't running their top guys, that's a solid finish, dude.
I think what's kind of nicest here is the women's side getting those 1-5 and 1-7 spreads, a lot tighter. That's huge. That's huge, right? Like they're just that's gonna put them in such better shape in every meet if they have a group that's running that consistently. 1-5,
and those are they can help each other out too. Like it's
for sure.
It's like cycling. Like they do, they can lead people out. They can, draft off people. It's there. I mean, it's not, there's a reason when like Kipchoge or whatever goes for the sub 2, he's got like 5 guys running in front of him.
Right.
Like they're pacing him, but they're also,
taking turns. Yeah.
Blocking the wind.
Yep.
Bradley Intercollegiate's up next on September 19th. Pete, baseball, a $500 a person fundraiser, September 4th at Olive and Oak. Dinner, drinks, and photos. But the lead I buried here is that it's an evening with Jose Canseco and Dan McLaughlin. 10 years ago. Imagine a night out with that duo.
Oh, yeah. Maybe even longer would have been better. 20 years ago could have been even more fun with those guys. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. I $500 a person, I think is worth it. Friend, I mean, that sounds like fun to me. And plus you've got Hendricks in there. It's already a fun group. I just think that has the potential to be a very fun, interesting evening.
If anybody wants to sponsor me to attend that, I will happily accept the $500. Hit our DMs. They're open. If anybody wants to sponsor me for that fundraiser.
I would love to get an insider there, Zach.
Hell yeah. That's gonna do it, Pete. It's an action-packed week for us.
It's full swing in fall now. Yep.
All right, that's gonna do it, Pete. Whether or not I don't know. Go Bills.
Go Bills.